In this next video, let's figure out the actual person's overtime pay. So for example, in this example, this should be $415, but his actual overtime pay just by itself is $15. So let's figure that out. Okay, so we're going to create another entry here for the map, and we're going to call this overtime pay. Let's do a float here. Overtime pay is basically overtime hours times 1.5 F for the float times the person's regular hourly wage. Okay, so that's his overtime pay. I'll do Control C. Let's keep this camel case. Let's put that there. And now I should see just his overtime pay by itself should be $15. This will do, the overtime hours is 1 times, that'll be 1.5. 1.5 times 10 should be 15. So if we go back here to driver, run this again. Let's move this a little bit to the side here. Notice now we have overtime hours is 1. Weekly salary, which we need to fix, is wrong, which is right now wrong. And the overtime pay is $15 per hour at overtime pay. Okay, so now the next step is let's figure out the person's regular salary. And that, I mean the money he makes at a regular rate. Okay, so if we go back to UnionEmployee, we'll add another line here, say float regular pay. And if the person worked overtime, that means the person had to at least work 40 hours. Okay, so we're going to say here 40 times whatever the hourly wage is. We'll say here hourly wage. Okay, I'll copy this line here, change this to regular pay, and we'll add regular pay there. So this should just say $400. Let's run this again. Just go back to driver. Let's run it. So let's see what we get here. We get overtime hours is 1. Regular pay is $400, which is great. Weekly salary is 410, and we need to fix this because eventually this should say 415 based on this. And of course, the person got paid $15 overtime. Okay, so it looks good so far. And we'll continue this in the next video where we figure out the person's actual salary.